guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Ayodele Fash. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. If you're a returning subscriber, you know I love you and I appreciate you so much. Thank you for always coming back. All right, so today I have this sweet man here with me. Oh guys, the other day my husband sent me one nice message. I'm like, hey, now wow. Well, we're doing long distance in Ghana. That's why my husband used to wake up early in the morning. We compose nice message for me and write some poems and stuff. But since we got married, it changed. But I think now the loneliness is getting to him. All right, baby, can you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. My name is Wole, and it's great to be back. They forbid me to wake up and see your own messages. Oludo. Continue.
How can you wake up and see my own message when you go to bed? When you wake up long before I wake up?
It doesn't matter.
How will you wake up and see
my
message?
It's the thought that is.
The thought.
The message you saw now is not. Do you not see that yesterday almost at 10:00?
When I woke up, I saw the
message. But I sent it since
actually,
before.
I'm not even slept. I haven't slept before you saw it.
Because I know we spoke a few minutes before that time.
So you're missing me, Abby.
Is that what we came here to talk about?
You are so weird. So you cannot just admit that you are really missing me. So, I understand this. If I were you, I would miss me too.
Okay. You have made yourself very happy now.
Yeah, I have. Anyway, so okay. All right. So most of you guys already know that it's almost our 2 years anniversary. I was about to say 1 year anniversary. It's about to be our 2 years anniversary, and I can't believe it's almost 2 years. Can you believe it?
It feels surreal, but well, excuse me.
I think that sometimes it feels like it's not just yesterday I was watching our wedding video. I went back to my YouTube channel and I was watching our traditional wedding video. I felt so, I don't know, but then sometimes it feels like, was it not just yesterday we got married? And sometimes it feels like we've been in this marriage for 10 years.
Yeah, it does feel like that, but when I look at the pictures then and the pictures now, it becomes clear.
That's what? What do you mean?
At that time has passed now.
Why? You are older, because me, I know I'm aging backwards. I'm getting younger.
Tell yourself whatever makes you happy.
So what makes you say so?
I think how we both look, there's the kind of richness, or how do I say? There's more quality to our appearance now than then.
Quality to our appearance.
Yes, now there's this more. Now we are looking both tush.
We are looking tush. Where are you looking tush then?
Now.
Oh God, Sapa did not let us to look tush then.
Funny enough, things were even better then.
Were they? I don't think so. Things were not better. Better how? How?
Okay.
Things were not. Things were not even close to being as good as they are now. I mean, yeah. But anyways, yeah. So if you're to compare our first year and second year, which one do you do? What would you say? Comparing our first year, and then our second year of marriage. How is that?
In terms of what now? I didn't know this marriage is about. I mean,
this video is about. We're going to answer the questions, but I just wanted us to talk about us first before we get into the questions. I'm not sure we will be able to finish the questions in one video. But this is supposed to be about our anniversary. Although this is quite early, right, to be talking about, because our anniversary is still like 3 weeks, in 3 weeks' time, at least as at the time we're recording this video. Right, but I just want to know, like, if you're to look at our first year together and the second year, do you think it got easier or it got like tougher?
No. I think it got better.
In what way?
Not even easier, better. And that's just because the first few months where there were a lot of friction, there were a lot of us trying to understand each other and identifying whether an explanation is an excuse or is just is the truth. It involves a lot of getting to know, which cannot happen until you live with someone, no matter how much you think you know someone.
Mm-hmm.
The level of your knowledge is richer after living with a person. So you get to a point when you okay, no, this is it makes things but
Do
I
you
think things
think
are
we've gotten to
significantly
that
better.
point though? I think we are
That what
still I think we are better, yes, but of course more than the first year. But I think we're still, it's still. I think marriage is you keep on learning to the day you die, right?
oh that's just normal with it's just normal. It's just normal. Even okay, we may be talking about marriage now, or are married now, but in context, even if you have a friend for 5 years, the first year of your friendship is not the same as 5 years. So you would have understood
Mm,
many things. So I mean, it's no wonder that they even talk about old couple like old couple they are together. Obviously, visibly, they are not saying anything, but they are saying a lot to each other. And because of the context, because of experience or many things, we'll be able to interpret each other far easier and far better than we used to. So, iron sharpeneth iron, as they say. So, I think
mm,
if we put it in a more relatable context, when the
mm,
Bible says the two shall become one,
mhm,
it does even though they are one in by definition the process of becoming one is what we are going through you die to yourself
mm,
they periodically you make compromises you
mhm.
adjust you shift like that so I think that's it that's why normally you cannot compare a 10-year-old couple with 2-year couple no matter how good they are together because if the start if the factors are constant so let's say 2-year-old loving couple and 10-year-old loving couple it can be the same.
I see. Well, you're right. I mean, obviously, yes, it can never be the same because the quality of the relationship is different. Certain things you fight about, you don't even fight about it anymore. Um, and that brings me to my next question: can you remember anything we used to fight about in our first year of marriage that didn't come up, or we fought less about in our second year? But babe, the table where your phone is, can you shift it forward? Because I'll still have to zoom in this video when I'm editing. Aha.
Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
um
Is there anything we used to fight about that we don't fight about anymore?
I think in almost every aspect I think in almost every aspect basically because number one you learn to read what your subliminal messages you were ignorant of before so the person can say something for that would make you feel one kind but later you just know that oh, that's who this person is or when they say it this way this is what they mean and that so I think virtually almost every aspect yeah if you ask me.
Yeah, but you've not really said anything either. Can you remember any specifics that in our first year of marriage we used to fight
And
about?
you
Because
see
even me,
what we
I'm
are
trying
saying
to
now. I've
think.
not said anything. After I've said so many
No,
things.
you've said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. You've said a lot of wisdom, but you've not given us what I'm looking for, you what I'm looking for. Can you remember anything that used to be like an issue for us before we got married that we no longer fight about?
Mm, okay, I'm thinking of something I can say.
Mm. Maybe I should go first. Maybe you remember.
All right.
Okay.
Take it
Well,
away.
I think in our first year of marriage, well, personally, I don't
Hmm.
think that we stopped. I think our frequency of argument, this is hard, kind of reduced because I know there was a point, like, I think towards March and April, I guess, during that period. Was it March and April, or was it later when you started, when you started working with this your other company, the other one you stopped working with? When you stop, why you do your face like you don't understand what I'm
I
saying?
didn't get that part. Come again.
Can you hear me?
No, I didn't get it. Yeah, yeah, I can hear.
I said when you started working with the company you were working with before.
Yeah.
But I think during that period, our fighting kind of, well, I think our argument, not fighting, we don't fight, our argument kind of, peaked a little bit than it usually was, right?
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, due
Okay.
to certain circumstances. Okay. But I think in our first year of marriage, I think the difference is I don't think we argue. It's tough. I think we argued lesser than we did in the first year, right? But I think that some of the things we used to argue about in our first year of marriage, we don't argue about them. I think the argument just it evolved. The quality of our argument, just like the quality of our relationship and our friendship has evolved and has, blossomed and has become richer, just like you said. So did the quality of our arguments because initially in the first year of marriage, we used to argue about things like, oh, you didn't take out the trash, or you didn't say I was beautiful, you didn't compliment my dress, you didn't do this, you don't want to be, you're not outgoing or stuff like that. But I think in second year of marriage, we kind of learned, we evolved in that aspect. Like you were more expressive, I mean, God is still helping you, but you're I'm talking from my own perspective now, right? You were more expressive about, saying how you feel, and stuff like that. And then I think the second year, it wasn't about, the smaller things now, because I think at this time we've gotten to live with each other. We know much about each other. Like in the first year of marriage, we used to have arguments about me wearing bathroom slippers to the living room. But in the second year, I wear it, and at the point, it's just like you would definitely tell me, Dave, that's a personal year. But I think sometimes it's just like I can't even, it's not worth it, right? So those little things that used to cause, rip, at the beginning kind of just fizzled out. And then we started to, the
That's
arguments we started to have was now about
yeah.
other things. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to say you're right because like you said, the illustration you give now, I got to a point where I decided that what do I want? Do I want to have peace of mind or do I want to have it my way? So um I just had to look away because we are fundamentally not the same people. So we probably will not um it won't appeal to us in certain ways. So
Mm-hmm.
I decided to have safe zones in different things. So let's say for instance I will take happiness from how my books are arranged on my shelf, knowing that it's my book, it's my shelf, nothing's going to scatter it. So now I'm happy. So I decided to find happiness in other things that I have absolute control
Why I
over.
was not giving you happiness.
That's the kind of compromise that no, I'm saying regarding certain things. You know, I'm meticulous or more meticulous than you are in certain things. I like things done properly in certain way, so much that I can be said to have OCD in certain aspects. So now you are not like that. Initially, the struggle is how much can I live with surrendering something I always liked. But like you said, you to get to a point you just realize that Omo, I can't keep talking about bedroom slippers or one thing. It's just crazy. It doesn't mean I like it, but so I've come to distinguish things I have control over and things I don't have control over. So things I have absolute control over, if I do it in the way I can like that, so it becomes for me consolation. So it helps me to cope with things I can't control.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I understand it. I
So
understand it.
it's things like
But
that.
just don't people don't get it twisted, okay? I'm not a scattered person either. And I think like I have to keep saying this, right? My husband is just he's too like I can wear bathroom slippers to the living room. It doesn't mean anything to me. It means something. It means a lot to my
Hmm.
husband, right? And yeah, anyway, so but
Yes, now
even now,
because if you wear it to the living room and you wear it back to the bathroom, the living room will be dusted, the bathroom is wet, so the floor will have stain. And you
would
don't
have
see
tried.
those things
I don't
because
even
you
wear
don't wear
wet slippers
glasses
to the
or
living room.
in the house.
I don't wear wet slippers
That's what I'm
to the
saying. So
living
you
room.
don't. No, I'm not saying wet slippers. The bathroom floor, the chances that it is wet or it has water. So if you
Okay, so when
wear
I
a
wear the dry
slippers that you
slippers,
wore, it will
this,
stain it. And you don't wear glasses in the house except if you want to read or you're on the system, so you won't see it. But I will see it. See where the problem is.
but you see, I think I understand you better now because it's hard living with people. It's hard. I think that
Ah,
I'm the one. I think
okay.
I've gotten so used to. I think before I met you, I've always been a person that I don't like a dirty space. I don't like a dirty space, right? Or a rough bed or stuff like that. I try to keep things organized as much as I can. I know I'm not as meticulous as you are. But I think living with you, I think it has even become too much for me to the point where the situation and everything going on, with yeah. I
Yes.
have become so used to being organized, just I think being married to you that I cannot stay in a place that is not organized. I find myself waking up every morning. The first thing I do is lay my bed, do stuff like I don't think I used to do those things before I got married, to be honest. Like I would keep my space clean, but I was not pepe about it. But now I cannot like a lot has, changed. I as a person have even evolved, by the reason of just us being
Yes,
together, right?
that's that's the iron sharpening iron thing. There are perspectives that we are oblivious of until we live with people. Do you understand? There are certain things I don't pay attention to. It doesn't concern me. It's not my business. It is
Mm.
you that made it my business. It's you that made me realize, I should not do this one. I shouldn't do it that way. I shouldn't. Do you understand? So sometimes you don't even know the lessons that you have learned until you're applying that knowledge or wisdom or lesson in different circumstances. You now realize, oh, that's true. That's true. For instance, now food. When it borders on food, I don't really care. Uh, I mean, I like food and I like good food, but you have made me much more attentive to what I eat, what I don't eat. Even though I used to do exercise long before we even met or married, but I'm more conscious of my health than ever before, and that's because of you. So, because I know that if a week goes by and in our
You've not
conversation I
jogged.
didn't see anything about exercise or whatever, you are going to make. Besides, you even know when I jog because my app will send you a notification
Yeah.
that I'm started and all that one. So that's that. There are certain things now that I'm conscious of that even when talking to people or relating with people, living with you has helped me know how better to deal with certain things or certain circumstances. And sometimes we
Sometimes we
can't
can't
even
even
put it
put it
into
in.
words until the circumstance presents itself. You now realize that. So when you were telling me that first time that about your folks there, and you're saying this and that and that, I was just smiling because I know that part of why you are like that is because of some of the things we've been through. But then it felt like I was inconveniencing you or all those ones. But that's just life. So we just get to
To rub off
like
on
that.
each other.
So I yeah. So I expect that in 5 years or 10 years time, it'll be a lot different. The quality will be different. The depth will be different, and the understanding will be almost second skin and all that and all that.
Mm. Well, yeah. So yeah, I think you're right. But back to the question, like anything that I used to do in the first year, Yeah, I think
than
arguments we don't have anymore. So I think that's definitely one, like fighting about, oh, you didn't say I look beautiful, or you didn't say my dress is nice. We used to fight.
ah Jesus, we fought about that. God.
Oh God. And I think at a point, again, it's also because before we got married, you used to do those things. And understandably, because we were long distance, so you had no choice but to always give those words. And then we got married, and it was like a culture shock to me. But I think at a point, I just had to tell myself, like, see, you have to find beauty inside of you, okay? You are beautiful and fearfully made. If your husband says so, no,
Do
I
you
would
get it
know.
now?
Yeah,
Do,
get out.
do you get it now?
You get what?
When I no, when I first said wait, when I first said something about finding joy in other things, I saw how you took it, but now you get what I'm saying. That because I noticed it, I noticed that you could dress up and I don't say anything, and you will not get angry. So you not getting angry, self now started to scare me. That Kumabinu, let me say something. Do you get the point? Like, let me say something, but how you coped with it was internal. You found a reason to realize that okay, this one, that one, that one, and somehow your own response started to bite me in the ass because I started to expect you to say certain things, but when you don't say that, I'm like, Kusoro. So, do you understand? So, things like that will happen. I know I'm not there yet, but
Yeah.
by God's grace, I will get there. I mean, there are things that I know I will not do before, but
Yeah.
I'm finding it a bit easier to do. So,
Yeah, I remember one of the last videos we did. I think it was during my birthday. I think. No, I don't know. I think it was after my birthday. I think it was from that period, and everyone in the comment section was like, the way you were touching me, the way you were shaking it. But then it was me that used to be the touchy person, and then all of a sudden you started to, rub off or you started to do certain things. So I think that's good.